What is happening, everyone? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a lovely one out there. Let's go ahead and dive into some Jan Dukes de Grey. Jean Dukes de Grey? Anyways, thank you so much for clicking on the video today. Like I said, my cord is stuck. Listening to Jan Dukes de Grey, where I've never heard of this band, but we're going to listen to their track, Sun Symphonica. This is off of their album Mice and Rats in the Loft, released 1971. We're listening to this track because the band had been suggested and mentioned by Marco Mazzola, Eduardo Ferreira, and Zal Moxis. I've never heard of the band, but you guys had mentioned the band and said, check them out. And so check them out we shall. I see that they're considered a prog folk band, and with this track lasting about 19 minutes, I would expect at least the prog part out of them. I kind of like the name of the album, Mice and Rats in the Loft, and the album cover is kind of cool. Also, I couldn't find the music on Spotify, so we are listening to, listening, yes, but also, I guess I might as well pull it up, the video. We're going to do it on YouTube. So anyways, might as well go ahead and get it started. We'll talk about it, of course, a little bit after. Here we go. It's like the opening to a story.
In the early morning, sunshine on your hair, your eyes shining golden everywhere. Your head on my pillow, body like a willow bend. Sunshine.
All right.
Sunshine. 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 Sunshine.
Oh, that's good.
Really cool. And the fool were to get together without rule. They would find each other very, very simple then. Sunshine.
It's like a Jethro Tull Genesis kind of sound they have.
Sunshine. Sunshine.
Little riff on the back end here. I'm already enjoying this, and we're what, 2 minutes in? Yeah. This almost gives like a soft machine kind of sound. It's got a Geddy Lee like warble.
Looking for the sunshine, where you see the fool. Looking for the wise man, where you see the ruler. If you see before you, what you see beside. You're right down the wrong side of the road, and you know that you can hide.
drums just hammering her away. Fast and Furious. It's played almost in the style of flamenco. Almost. This feels very Baroque.
When you're riding through the park, when you're at the sun, you are not the only one. You must have a treasure.
This has a very elegant air about it. It's the guitar coming back. It's kind of psychedelic with that wow wow come in. It's increasing its tension for sure. Really nice section here. A lot from this track, and I feel like we're still like 7 minutes maybe in. Wow, exactly. I love the mixture of strings with the band here. That guitar is going. Kind of has a sitar-like sound. This whole section right here is my favorite at this point. The guitar work is immaculate. The sensation of the strings is really like gorgeous, and of course the flute on the side. Like I could stay in this space for a while. That was a perfect section. I like looking at this album cover while we're listening to it, by the way.
took a rap to the guillotine.
He's really over pronunciating his voice there.
Wow. And they cut up a pretty wide
He's playing around. He's chewing the scenery of his singing.
and the blood run down her neck onto a pretty wide breast. They closed their eyes with a blade.
Someone gets got.
Only the moon looking down could see her cry.
Love the bongos.
Only the sun, 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 only the sun. New one.
The bongos were really following his delivery. Oh, that's a great transition, starting off with a kick drum. All others following the hits. Bass came in very heavy there. The drummer pulls a great weight carrying the transitions between the different sections here.
Traveling through the door of time.
Cutting strings.
Such a brand new dimension.
Long held note.
Looking for the golden door. Searching for the golden
I love this section where he holds this note and the swap of strings just cut. It's so catchy that
kangaroos beneath your feet, yeah. Searching everywhere.
double kick. incredible melodies that are being played in here. Like how this just gently carried that down. At first I thought that was organ. Now I think it's guitar. Now the bass moved it over there though. I'm assuming that's some sort of guitar. This is such a cool, like, psychedelic, folk, classical inspired kind of sound. There's always a new layer being thrown on top. Hear the horn now. Harmonica now? Because why not at this point?
Sunshine comes creeping through my window. Another lonely day is through. Sunshine, sunshine.
They're getting some cool effects out of that guitar. Glockenspiel? What else aren't we including in here? And all of these sounds and melodies and layers coming together. That's how it stops? Really? Just like that, huh? I guess so. Okay. That was an awesome track. That was sensational. I always say, longer song doesn't necessarily make it a better song. But if you're going to have a 19-minute track, it better fill you up with something. This was so cool to listen to. At the beginning, I was kind of getting a lot of like obvious, perhaps Jethro Tull. The guitar work and the overall atmosphere kind of reminded me of Genesis a little bit. Of course, like Peter Gabriel era Genesis. And then like it kind of moved into its own thing. It really did have a very unique kind of progressive folk can I even say classical kind of inspired music and sound to it. I love the way that they all played here. Let me pull up their names so I can actually speak of them properly. So first of all, Dennis Conlon, who's handling the drums and percussion. I love how he drummed the whole time. I like how in the softer, more subtle moments, he would switch the drum set for perhaps some bongos or something like a little softer like that. But then even when it moved into the more heavier moments, which there weren't many heavy moments, but something a little bit more uproarious, he would really play like a lot of drum fills and big crashes and stuff. Like just an awesome member, and the way that he kept those transitions between sections going was very, very well delivered. Let's see. Michael Bairstow on flute, clarinet, and saxophone. Loved every single addition that all of those instruments brought in. The saxophone, when that came in, it almost gave the whole sound a very soft machine kind of sound, like where it leans towards a more jazz kind of sound, but like a jazz with the folk sound, which perhaps that's why it reminds me a little bit of the Canterbury scene and Soft Machine in general, because it leans towards that kind of sound there. The clarinet was fun. Like everything that he brought was fun. Now, I don't know who the singer is. The last member here is Derek Noy, who's handling guitar, trumpet, trombone. But I don't have anyone listed necessarily as the vocalist. So, I mean, I would assume it's one of them. It just doesn't tell me here, at least on the personnel list, who's singing. Now, whoever is singing, I like that they don't have a perfect voice. I like how they don't have like this crystal clear, incredibly pleasing voice. No, but that's not what's needed here. What you are getting is somewhat of a storyteller, someone who sounds relatable, who has a unique voice, and definitely a very unique way of pronouncing and enunciating things and sustaining certain notes. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of this. Like, I'm, of course, indulging a little bit in a little bit of not exactly the same, but he kind of sings like this in a lot of ways, and I think it works really well with the music, where it is kind of bouncing around between something not to be taken so seriously but performed with serious musicianship. It's just a lot of really fun sections in this music. My favorite, however, was the one I was mentioning. I want to say it was maybe around 7 minutes or so. This whole section right here. The kind of Eastern influence that's happening, it sounds like it's a sitar-like sound that's being played there, but the rhythm of it kind of gives me a very folk, Irish kind of sound to it as well. So it's a very unique kind of mixture that's being played right here. And of course, with those wondrous flourishing strings coming in, the guitar playing really nicely alongside of it. I just thought that particular section there was kind of a huge standout. And I loved how long that one went on. Like, because I even said I could sit here for a while. And a lot of the sections, especially on the second half of the track, kind of stay and last for a long time. Whereas in the first track, there's a little bit more transition and movement happening. But I do like how it kind of gave us a little of everything. And you sure got everything in this track here. Let's take a look at the lyrics really quick. In the early morning, sunshine on your hair, your eyes shining golden everywhere, your head on my pillow, body like a willow then. Sunshine, sunshine. Sounds just like a good day. If the politician and the fool were to get together without rule, they would find each other very, very similar. If the politician and the fool, if they were to just get together on equal grounds and one of them isn't ruling over the other, well, you'd find them both quite similar. Sunshine, sunshine. Sunshine in the morning brightens up your day. Sunshine in the meadow, don't know what to say. Look for the sunshine where you see the fool. Looking for the wise man where you see the rule. Like in the sunshine, you're looking for someone who's, perhaps a little more simpler. They're just out there to enjoy the sunshine. Where are they? Then you're looking for the wise man where you see the rule. The people that are ruling, you would expect to see a wise man, but that is not always the case. If you see before you what you see beside, you're headed down the wrong side of the road, and you know that you can't hide. When you're riding through the park, when you ride with Sunny, you are not the only one, you must look for treasure. They took her off the guillotine. That's good. I'm sure she's living to see sunshine the next day. Is that a Marie Antoinette thing? They cut off her pretty white head. That must be. And the blood ran down her neck onto her pretty white dress. They closed her eyes with the blade. Only the moon looking down could see her crying. Only the moon looking down could see her crying. is because it was daytime. So in the daytime, the sun's above you. So if the sun's looking down, of course you can't see her crying because her head's down. But the moon on the opposite side of the earth can see technically because it's from the bottom looking up. That's some good visual. That's a great visual. Only the sun knew why. Traveling through the door of time, searching for a new dimension. Looking for the golden door, searching for the golden idol. Kangaroos beneath your feet, searching everywhere. Here in something in line. Sunshine comes streaming through my window. Another lonely day soon, sunshine. Listen, it's a good day for some. It's a bad day for others. And he's just thinking it over, just tossing it in the tides of his mind. This is a really cool song. I really enjoyed this. Let's see what other people have to say. I guess I could have kept you guys on the screen here. I didn't realize. Prague has to have a flute in it somewhere. That's true. Mind-blowing. So different from the first record. Haven't heard it. Right up there with Coma's Inspire Gyra. Apparently the folk album of 1971. Still fantastic. Still crazy. In my top 10. Amazing. Yeah, this was fantastic. That was a great listen. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments down below. There's only 2 more tracks on the album, so I'm probably just going to finish it, so why not? So I hope that you did enjoy it. Come back tomorrow. You never know what we're doing. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye.